Hello, everybody. This is Nancy at Paper Moon Tarot, and I wanted to come on and show you a deck I created using AI. I know there's some controversy about AI out there right now, AI created decks, but I did this for me, for fun, and to work with tarot and learn tarot and kind of think, gee, I'd love to create a deck that shows my vision of tarot and not be able to do that because you're not an artist. I'm a writer, not an artist. But I decided to just find an AI app and play with this and see what it was like for me. And so I wanted to share the deck with you and tell you a little bit about the AI creation process as I experienced it with tarot. And see what you think. I'd love to hear your comments down below about what you think on this deck. Now, I used an AI creator called Hotpot, and it was interesting to find you had to enter words and generate an image, and choosing the words wasn't always easy. Sometimes you had to try 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. You had to try different words and try to make it fit your interpretation of the card. One interesting thing about this particular app was at the time I did it, it did not have, it would not allow you to create images using the word woman, man, child, boy, or girl. So if I wanted to create specifically a card that had a child, I had to figure out some other way to do that. I think maybe it took young person, but I think they've changed it since then. But so there were different things you had to kind of work around. I believe their reasoning for that at the time was because it could create harmful content. Maybe people were creating sexualized content using the word woman, for example, or child. But anyway, so it's interesting to see if there are limitations with an app you use. If you generate art and it just comes out as a glob, you're like, what the heck is that? You know, it doesn't have what I asked for, or it has it, but I don't like the art. So it's a combination of choosing the right words, trying again and again sometimes to get the words right, and then choosing the result that you think matches your vision and that you think is attractive, etc., etc. Then when you get the images, you have to, download them and create a card design for them to fit in and place them on the card design as a JPEG and send that to, in my case, Make Playing Cards. Now, I didn't have a lot of options in terms of resizing the art, so or the resolution, but I think it came out pretty good resolution-wise. What you do is you choose an art style, and I think this was called watercolor, and then you use the words to generate the image. So these are all the watercolor style images. And when I place them on cards, when I design the card, basically, I had to leave some blank space, some borders, because of the sizing. But I also, since it's my deck, for me, I like nice big titles in a very simple font so that I can see what I'm reading. So I did that in my card design. You will note when you see some later ones that the minors are higher on the card and have a symbol for the element, and the majors are a little more centered on the card but have space for the number of the major. I didn't try to get a certain number of element symbols in cards for the minors. I thought that I could get the meaning of the card through and have very clear titles and not need to throw in a bunch of cups and wands and things to make it clear what you were looking at. So again, I'd like your feedback on that, what you think, because I may create a next deck that I may sell. I'm not sure. Again, I know there's some controversy about that because, artists spend years real artists spend years creating their decks, and I don't like to undermine that in any sense. Although I spend enough money on their decks, maybe I'm not. But for someone who wants to explore creating their own deck and does know the words that they want to use, again, me being a writer, the words are important to me, to see something on the page, on the card, that reflects your understanding of tarot, it's really fun to be able to do that. Whether it's something you should sell as art or you sell as an AI deck so people know what they're getting and what you put into it, what you didn't, what was created for you. I don't know. All I know is I had a heck of a lot of fun, and I wanted to show it to you. So I'll make a few comments on cards that I found very difficult. I think the Fool was one where the first time I tried it, maybe one or two tries, and it came out like this. So I really kind of liked that. The Magician was also one that didn't take a whole lot of tries. I'll try to get that to focus in. Yeah. I kind of like that it ended up with several things on the table in front of the Magician. They're not exactly coins and wands and swords, but they're tools in front of the Magician. The High Priestess, I really like. The Empress, that was a hard one. Again, I couldn't use the term woman. So I was trying to get someone in a garden, basically, and I had to work around that several times to get an image that I really liked. And this was a pretty one that I just liked, so I used it. And I'm not into pregnant empresses, so that was not an issue. I'm sure it probably would not have taken the word pregnant either. The Emperor on his horse, kind of looking severe. The Hierophant, that came out the first time. I was like, well, yeah, there's like the Pope or somebody and all the people following that person. Now, one comment I should also make is that with Make Playing cards, I chose the cardstock, I think it's called herbage or herbage. It's a natural fiber sort of paper. It's the green choice. And, I've always loved linen cardstock, so I thought, well, why didn't I order linen? And I ordered this, and it's actually lovely. Can you see the grain on that? It's kind of like linen, but less obvious. You can really feel the texture on it. It's lovely cardstock. It's very thin. Oh, and I forgot to show you the backs and tell you the title of the deck. I created backs last minute, and I was like, what do I put there? And I tried some kind of pretty images, pretty words for images that would just kind of be pretty. And nothing worked. I think I used a blue gem trying to get a sparkly, sapphire look or something. And that didn't work. It was just blobby. So I tried blue eye, and I got a blue eye. And I have blue eyes. So I'm calling it the Blue-Eyed Tarot. And that's the back. It's kind of weird. But of course, it matches a lot of the colors in the deck because those are the watercolor colors that you get in from this style. So anyway, okay, so that was the Hierophant. The Lovers, out of various images I got, I just thought that's straightforward and simple, and you don't have to know what genders people are or anything. Now, it's probably a more romantic vision of the Lovers than the one where there's a man with two women and a Cupid overhead. These are people who seem committed to each other already, but anyway, I liked the image. The Chariot, I said two horses, and I guess there's a suggestion of another horse down here. This was one I tried a lot of different ways, a person, because I couldn't use man, driving a cart, and I'd get these really tiny images of a cart and could barely make out the person in the cart, and a horse instead of two horses. So I finally just went with the horse. Similar with strength, I tried getting a person with the lion, and I just wasn't satisfied with any of the images. So when this came up, I thought, well, it's so beautiful, and we all know what the lion is about as far as which card. I do kind of like that it's got one color on this side and one color on that side. It's like the two sides, the two faces of, you know, the inside maybe turmoil and the outside controlling force. But that's probably a reach. That's a retrospective on what I ended up with. But it's nice. I like it. The Hermit I love because the light is kind of coming from within the Hermit instead of a lamp. The Wheel of Fortune, again, I tried many kinds of wheels, and I ended up liking the Ferris wheel look. Justice, I had her holding scales. It's not necessarily a two-sided scale, and but I love her face. I really like her. Hanged, for the hanged man, woman, person, that came out cool. I was like, well, is that too weird? The legs are growing into the tree. But I liked it. It sort of said somebody hung up on something to me. So the next one is Death card. I won't tell you about every one of them, but ones where it was kind of interesting how hard it was to get them. Temperance. Tried for 2 jugs of water repeatedly, couldn't get them. The Devil I love. It just ended up with the horns, the red, and you can see the 2 eyes of the devil down here. And that just, I was like, that's really cool. Tower. Trying to get this to focus. Star. That's, again, tried images of a woman, a girl, water pitcher, stream, whatever. It never came together, so I just went with that. The Moon is one of the most beautiful moon cards I think I've ever seen, if I do say so myself. I just typed the words, but the wolf and the moon faces together. The Sun. Tried various things for that. It's not an easy card to do in some ways, because if you don't want to do a baby or someone on a horse or sunflower. I actually tried sunflower and could not get a sunflower. Judgment, I chose something that just showed something ascending from Earth, and I thought was pretty. That to me reflects judgment without a lot of religion. The World card, I tried a lot. What I liked was I had the cities here, the globe, and the people. There are people here in the globe, and then it just radiates out. So I thought that was an interesting world image. Okay, so I did use different colors for majors and each of the 4 suits. So Wands was orange. There's the ace. 2 of Wands shows someone more looking out to the future, planning. 3 of Wands, I don't know how I got this image, but to me it's sort of like stepping out, on your adventure, moving forward with wand type things. 4 of Wands, again, sort of focused. 5 of Wands, I finally ended up, this one took a while, I finally ended up with 2 people fencing. And it was, if you had them fighting or sports or this or that, but fencing to me just looked a little more interesting. 6 of Wands, woman with a medal for achievement and success. I tried to get some older faces in the deck, in my choices of the art that was generated. 7 of Wands was really hard, person with stick, fighting off people, whatever. I ended up with defending your home, and got Come on, focus. Got this image of a person with two sticks, kind of keeping someone away from his home. 8 of Wands. 9 of Wands just ended up being this logjam of sticks. And the 10 of Wands, again, tried various things for someone carrying sticks, whatever. And I ended up with an image of someone carrying something heavy, and it brought me this stack of books or boxes or papers or, so he's just holding this tall stack of things, which said to me the burden of the 10 of Wands. The Ace of Wands came up as a very young page. I'm sorry, Page of Wands, but cute. The Knight of Wands. The Knights, I sort of ended up saying a knight holding a stick, holding a book, holding a whatever, holding a cup. And all the knights came out different looking. The Queen of Wands had to have a cat. And the King of Wands. With all the kings, again, I tried for age. And I think they kind of came out kind of cool. The Ace of Cups. Cups being blue, of course, for the border. The Two of Cups was interesting. I tried a lot of things for that, and this came up. And I like it. The hand touching the reflection of the hand. It's sort of almost a self-love kind of Two of Cups. 3 of Cups. My cat wants to get in on the action. 3 of Cups. This was a hard one, and I ended up with this one where she has 3 cups and not a 4th, as if just out of frame there's somebody trying to get her to see there's more cups in the world than this. So it worked. 5 of Cups, grief or loss. 6 of Cups, just a child holding something. I don't know what. I don't always know what these images are, but they just appeal to me sometimes. The 7 of Cups. Again, I got a lot of different things, but when I got this, I said, yeah, that's fun. Look at these different colored baubles, Christmas ornaments, and you have to choose one. And there's, the colors are sort of dazzling you and, and some illusion going on there. 8 of Cups. I think that was actually a first try for the star, and there weren't enough stars in it. So I said, no, that's an 8 of Cups. So that's another thing that went on. I'd try one thing and I'd say that image would work really well for something else. That's the 9 of Cups. The 10 of Cups I really like because it's the heart, so it's the emotions and the rainbow colors all around it without having to have any traditional or non-traditional family involved. Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Again, all the knights are kind of stylized differently. This one is almost more feminine looking, like they're wearing a dress of some sort with a cup. The Queen of Cups, mermaidish. And the King of Cups, again, an older person looking out at the water. It was okay to use terms like king, queen, empress, but not man, woman. I don't know. Ace of Swords. 2 of Swords. Again, one where I tried a lot of different images and they just kind of came out blobby. Somebody with 2 sticks or something. And then I forget whether this came up. I think maybe I just decided climate change would be a very interesting, difficult choice. We have difficult choices to make to deal with climate change. And that to me is what the 2 of Swords is about. We have the choice, and are we going to make the right one? So that was a little less typical. 3 of Swords, to me, deals more with not mental anguish as much as realizing that what you were thinking before is not quite right, and you're discovering some new way to think. And it can be stressful. I don't see it as heartbroken, but this to me focuses on the head and the mind, and some stress, some anxiety. The Four of Swords, just someone in repose. Five of Swords, looks like someone kind of abused. Six of Swords. And what I did on the swords background, the others were solid colors, but for some reason on the swords I decided to use a gradient background, so you kind of a little silvery glow on these cards. Seven of Swords, someone escaping, having stolen something. The Eight of Swords, this came up and I thought, yeah, it's someone who's locked in themselves, locked within themselves by these things. It's different, but I liked it. The Nine of Swords, the nightmarish card. And the Ten of Swords, just things stuck in the ground with a shovel, like somebody died. Sometimes it just works for me. When you know the title and you know tarot, that looks Ten of Swords to me. There's something final and in the earth about it, in the ground. Page of Swords with a book. The Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. Kind of a tough cookie. I'm not sure how I got that one, how I said. I think I may have used the term older woman with a sword. I guess older women with swords are to be feared, so they made her look fierce. And the King of Swords with a library behind him. Sorry, these are not totally focused, but I thought that the print quality came out well, even though they told me the resolution was really low on these, and I didn't buy larger resolution images. But I think they came out just fine. That was Make Playing Cards, when I uploaded them, said these are low resolution for us. Ace of Coins, I was going for a coin, but I was also going for nature. And I ended up with this coin-like thing with a tree in it, and I liked that. And the green color for the pentacles, coins. Two of Coins. Three of Coins. I had three hands working on a puzzle. People working together on something. Four of Coins. Five of Coins. Seemed to me this was almost like a stained glass church and someone in reduced circumstances there. The Six of Coins. Someone putting money in a beggar's cup, I guess. Seven of Coins. Again, I'm trying to get this to focus. They are pretty sharp images in person. The Eight of Coins. The Nine of Coins, again trying for a woman in a garden. I couldn't use the word woman. So at one point it just generated this for garden. And I said, okay, good enough. I think I had woman with bird and garden, and I wasn't getting anything I liked. Ten of Coins, I like this one for sort of a legacy. It's almost like she's teaching her how to use a computer or something, which maybe is strange although I know lots of people who don't know computers as well as I do, and I have to teach them, younger than me or not. But anyway, she looks like she's teaching something to this young person and helping this young person, so I thought that was in tune with the Ten of Coins, a legacy. The Page of Coins, I love her. And she's holding a piece of fruit. So that went in with the coins, the pentacles. For me, nature, the earth. The Knight of Coins, perhaps the most armored of all the knights, with little items that have, currency signs on them. The Queen of Coins, she just looked very Earth Mother to me, very nurturing, caring. And the King of Coins, and in this case, he's working the earth. He's doing some manual labor, representing the more earthy, resource-oriented coins. So that is my deck. And, it has all these different colors. It's a nice cardstock. And I had a lot of fun creating it. I'd love to know your ideas about it, even about the whole idea of AI tarot decks, and whether you'd like to try one just for yourself, or you think it's a horrible idea to do these sorts of decks. I'm sure you don't care that I did one for myself, but what are your ideas about AI decks? And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.